Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode for the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And today we are on episode 47. How Nurse Ross reclaimed her time and purpose through a digital business. And our guest today is Russel Torres. But she will be joining us in a few minutes. So before I dive into the topic, let me introduce myself. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but I currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor. I also want to let everyone know that we have our live webinar every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So if you want to learn how to start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is just register into my website that appears on the screen with your name and email address, and I'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into my website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So the first one is to register for the live webinar. That one will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday and one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. The second link that you get is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, I also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So you're probably wondering too, okay, so what am I going to find out on the webinar? So on the webinar, you're going to learn how our online business plan works. And also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So let's find out who were the hosts and panelists from this past Thursday live webinar. All right, so our hosts were Chris, a former firefighter, and Karen, a former elementary vice principal. Our first panelist is Anne. She is a sales and marketing executive. We have Rika, a registered nurse. We have Tony, an IT, and Rita, a recruitment. We have Annabelle, a retired nurse. We have Radha, a former corporate employee. And we have Manisha Bahan, a former brick and mortar business owner. And we have Sangeeta, a software engineer. So as you see, we have all walks of life, but they all have something in common, and that is, they took that leap of faith to change their life and their family's life. So if you want to catch this replay before tomorrow's live webinar and hear their stories, all you have to do is just register into my website, and I'll send you that link. And then our replays have subtitles in several languages. And our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. There you go. So now you know what to do. So if you want to catch that replay before tomorrow's live webinar, just register into my website and I'll send you that invitation to catch the replay. And you can also register for tomorrow's live webinar. All right, so let's dive into our topic. So like I mentioned at the beginning, we are on episode 47. And today's topic is hope, healing, and a new chapter. How Nurse Rose reclaimed her time and purpose through digital business. And our guest is Russel Torres. But before I bring her in, let me introduce her to you guys. Okay, so I'm so excited to welcome today's amazing guest, Ross. She's originally from the Philippines and now living in San Francisco, California. Ross is a devoted wife, proud mom of 3, and a compassionate nurse with 30 years of experience in healthcare. After decades of caring for others, she took a bold step into entrepreneurship and is now a thriving digital business owner and mentor. Her story is a powerful example of reinvention, purpose, and creating a life freedom beyond the 9 to 5. So get ready to be inspired by her journey. So let's bring her in. Hi, Ross. Thank you for coming.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again, Sandy, for having me here on your podcast about your real talk journeys of resilience and success. Thank you so much for this opportunity. To all our viewers, thank you so much for hopping in, and yeah, just watch and be inspired for today.
Yes, thank you so much. So could you, I know I did a little bit of introduction, but
Mhm.
do you want to just add a little bit more so they get to know you a little bit?
Yes. Yeah. So my name's Russel Torres, or Russ for short. Yeah. As Sandy had said, I'm a wife, a mom of three, and yeah, a nurse for 30 years. 2 years in the Philippines, 8 years in the Middle East. So, and then the rest is here in USA. So, yeah, I've been working for for a lot now.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, it's enjoyable, but then as you go, get older, I think you get a little bit worn out. That's the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because me too, I've been working for 25 years in the film industry, long hours, 12
Yes,
hours. And same, like if I love it was my dream job, but like I get to a point in our lives that we want more in life than that. We
correct.
want to be able to
Yes.
take care of our health and all that. So, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's dive into the questions. All right. So, Russ, after nearly 30 years in nursing, a career that's both fulfilling and physically demanding, what made you start looking for something different? And how did you find your way to digital entrepreneurship?
Yes. Thanks for that question. Yeah. As you've said that you're also passionate, and it's your dream job. So for me also, nursing has always been a big part of who I am, because I love to serve. Actually, I have a different course before. I was taking up med tech before, but then there's also a big change on that because of some events in our country during that time. And yeah, and then I changed to nursing because I know that nursing is it's only a 4-year course in our country, and I know that I love dealing with people and serving. So I poured my heart into caring for others for almost 30 years, as I've said, in the Philippines, 2 years, and 8 years in the Middle East, and yeah, now here in the US. But yeah, as years passed by, as I get older, the shifts got heavier, and also the burnout gets real. And even though it's a rewarding pay, there's a reward, it's a rewarding job also. The pay is good, but then yeah, as you know that it's a um as I get older, and then I'm spending more time working, because also I do double job. I also have overtime because of paying for all the bills and all. But then I remember my son even told me that, my mom, I barely see you anymore. So well, that really broke me. I was doing evening shift that time, but then turned I did night shift. But then it's the same thing. It's a sleep, work, eat cycle, yeah. And then the pandemic hit. So it's then that I realized that life is really short, because as you know that when the pandemic hit, there's so many people that lost their lives. And during that time too, I also lost my brother. So that really changed me.
Mhm.
And as I've said that it I realized that life is really short, that I couldn't keep trading my time, health, and precious moments with my family just for the paycheck alone.
Mhm.
So that's when when I was scrolling on my news feed, on my Facebook news feed. That's when I saw this Facebook ad, and then at first I was skeptical, but I kept praying, and then I researched and realized that this is the way, or the door that I had been asking for, asking God for. So yeah, that's the turning point.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I relate a lot to your story. And you mentioned a lot of things there that, a lot of people also will relate to you.
Yes.
Um, so let me just put some comments here. So we have Osnel Jawande. He says, Sandy Colero, thank you for watching. Thank you for your
Thank
comment.
you.
We also have a like emoji from Osnel Jawande and Ramsom Hamis, and a love emoji from Wolfgang Jeff. So thank you so much for your like and heart emojis for watching. So going back to your what you shared with us today, um, yes, I do agree with you. Sometimes we get into that cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and we get so used to the cycle that sometimes we forget about being present,
Yes,
to live
correct.
the present. And time passed by, and when we look back, it has already passed. One of the things that you mentioned, your son is asking you, you're barely in
Yes.
school. So that's something very common, that happens not only with immigrants parents, but also
Mm-hmm.
with other parents, that they they are working because they're focusing because they want to provide the best for their kids, but at the same time you're not present to your kids, and then you're missing those milestones.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's one thing that sometimes we, as a parent. I'm not a parent, but I have my niece and nephew. So and I have friends, and we have other members in our community, but they like I have a friend that her kids are already older, and she only had one of her sons that she
Mm-hmm.
was able to spend more time with him now with his business. But yeah, she regretted that she was not able to do that with her other two daughters, um because she missed all those milestones, because she was
Correct.
focusing. But it's something that it's not because uh we thought that there was no options for us, and we have just to keep working, and we needed to bring extra money. So sometimes you have to, like you say, you sometimes you took the extra shifts, and we have seen some people in our community that sometimes they have 2 to 3 jobs to be able
Correct.
to bring that income to the household. But this business, would allow you to be more fully present. And I love what you mentioned, to be more present. You when you lost your brother,
Mm-hmm.
um, it made you reflect in your life, about the precious moments that and I think I've seen something like that, like in my family, for example, too. I didn't lose her, but she had the sea.
Uh-huh.
And when I saw that, it makes me, because we're always thinking about the future. We're planning about the future, working towards the future. I'm gonna do this and that. But when that happened, really, like, the lives stop, and it makes you, like, really shift your mind into stop
Mm-hmm.
living into the future, but it's start living in the present.
Yeah.
And start having those precious moments with your loved ones. And that's, like, it also make you, reflect, because really, time passed so fast that
Correct.
you, when you look back, you're missing those moments that you didn't spend with your loved ones. So yeah, we carry so much about working and making money, that the most important is our loved ones, and our health. And those are the two
Yes.
things that we many times we tend to neglect. um, like, and our health is one of them. We push our bodies so much, that eventually I get to a point where our body says enough, and then your body reacts. I had two guests here that I interviewed in the past that
Mm-hmm.
one was a nurse. She was like pushing her body, working extra. And one day, she collapsed and she ended
Oh.
up in the hospital. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
she thought that she had like a stroke, but the doctor say, no, you're fine. You got nothing. And it was because, she was working too much. She
Mm.
was pushing her body to the extremes that her body say no, like enough.
Yeah.
And I had another guest recently that it was the same thing. She was working 12 hours, 6 days a week, sometimes seven or more. And when you do that, like for a long time, like you say, you were getting burned out, and
Yeah.
I do understand because like when I was younger, it was okay. I can take it.
Oh, yes.
But as you get older, it's not the same. And like my guess, she say that one day she was walking towards I think picking up her son, and then suddenly she blacked out.
Wow.
The only time that she remembers when she woke up, she was on the street, like lay down.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went to the hospital, and then they checked her up, and the doctor say everything was fine. And the doctor say, what kind of job do you do? And that's when it clicked to her, like she was working too much. But yeah, no, sometimes we do have those wake up calls, those aha moments, and that make us reflect in our life, and really start taking care of ourselves, and start thinking, about our present, be more present for our family. So thank you for sharing your story, because we
Mm-hmm.
all relate to that. Like I mentioned, me too. I work 12 hours, and I do understand about the burnout. um like I usually, especially when we work TV series,
Yeah.
we we work for a long period of time, which is good money wise, because like
Mm-hmm.
uh, mo- uh money through the entire production for those 6 8 months. And at the beginning it's fine, you have the full energy, but by the middle of the production you start feeling it, you start getting burned out. Because those long hours, it keeps, and especially when you're getting older, it's not the same, you don't have the same energy. So yeah, so it really does an effect. And imagine you are doing it for because at least I can take some break, like I usually work during the summer and take break on the winter, but you keep working for the entire year the same
Oh,
hours.
yes, of
So
course. And we
you
only get like 2 weeks vacation
yeah.
for the entire year. And you can, well, you can have your, sick, sick hours, but
Hmm.
then that will just gonna get you some few days to have a, like for me, I just had the COVID for the past week.
Yeah.
So I only had like a week to recover. Although I'm still coughing and I'm negative, I still have to work because
Hmm.
we are required to work to get back on the job, even though you're still having some a little bit symptoms. But then you see, I'm still, my voice is still
Yeah.
a little bit not that hoarse, but then I'm still having some coughing bouts of coughing. And yeah, but yeah, we're still required to go go to our job. So yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, and I heard from another nurse, because I have a friend that is nurse too, and she was saying that when you guys taking vacation, it's not like, for example, the normal people that work 9 to 5, where they have 2 weeks steady. Now you guys have like a 1 day interval, and then you have to take. So it's not really like you are taking like a full week, or 2 weeks, because of the schedule that you guys have. It's
Yeah, and
different.
true. And then, yeah, it also depends on your seniority level. So sometimes when you're senior, you get all the continuous vacation. But then when your seniority level is a little bit lower, you will not get the whole day. So you need to ask someone to work for you, or you trade with someone. So you're still working at
Mhm.
some days, and then you just switch or trade places with trade the time.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's still the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's go with the second question for you. So you have mentioned it, how exhausting it was to be overworked and have little time for family. What has changed in your life since starting this business, and how has it helped you reclaim your energy and time?
So, where do I begin? So, for the first time in a long time, I can breathe again, because here you can still work as with your full time. I still work with as a nurse, but now it's on my own terms. So, I no longer feel like drowning in a cycle, as I've said, work, eat, sleep, repeat.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've traded overtime shifts with spending more time with my kids, because we have automated system in our online business, right? And it's very flexible. You can bring it anywhere and anytime. So yeah, this business really gives me something that money can't buy. That's the time freedom. So it's not just about earning online. So it's about waking up with purpose, with energy. So and I also connected with people all over the world, just like you. It's my first time to meet you, so we're building something meaningful with our with our phone, laptops, and yeah, and we're also growing. I'm growing personally, right? Because
Mhm.
for me, uh, I'm not into this, posting on Facebook. I post before, but not as frequent as before. And then I also don't go lives. So, yeah, because I'm an introvert. But then through this business, my mindset has grown, and also I gained confidence. You can see me like this and talk and give interviews. So yeah, it had helped me really in my in me personally, and also building also a legacy for my kids, because we know that this business, aside from uh, adding adding a passive income, you can also transfer this business to your kids. So
Mhm.
yeah, that has really helped me a lot.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I told you, mentioned, about growing personally, and I would just want to mention this, many times when we start our journey in this business, we all only think about the financial part of it that we're gonna
Yeah.
get from this business. But once we start inside and we start on our journey, we realize that there's more than that. And like you mentioned, building that confidence, because many times when we start this, we don't have that. We might have a little bit of confidence, but not that much confidence, and
Mm-hmm.
we start building it, like for example, going and doing lives, getting out of your comfort zone to do that. Same here, I work in the movie industry, but I don't like to be in front of the camera, I was very like, I'm like you, introvert, shy person. But we know that the only way to be able to connect with our audience is by going live, because we want to build that trust, we want to build that that connection with our audience. So
Yes.
yeah, so we had to get out of our comfort zone. So when we started, if we look back our first lives, we can see that, we were so shy, thinking about what we're gonna say, that kind of stuff, uh, but it's just practice. So practice, and you start building that confidence, and then and you go along the way. You also mentioned about growing personally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the knowledge that we get from this business, learning new advertising skills from different social media platforms, um, learning about marketing skills, branding, all
Mm-hmm.
these things that we learn is like, it's amazing, to learn. And the thing is, like, what I love about this is that, you always are learning. You never stop learning, because we are in the digital area, so we gotta keep up with the trends, we gotta keep up with the technology. So Just for example, Canva, it keeps evolving all the time. So you start learning skills, for example, like adaptability, flexibility, because
Mm-hmm.
you really have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible with the changes, not just you have to have an open mindset, to be able to um, go along with the changes, because if you have a fixed mindset, you like for example, if there is a new change on Canva, because they always keep changing the layout, you're gonna get
Yes.
frustrated because you say, "Oh my God, where is this anymore?" But if you're flexible and you adapt, okay, things are gonna change, so that's fine. Let's find out where it is. You have a different mindset. So those are some things that we also get on this business. Working on our mindset. When you mentioned that connections, I totally agree with that. That's another thing that I love. Like for example, you mentioned that you and I we didn't know each other. Now we connected,
Mm-hmm.
and because our community is so global, before, when we started this circle, we had like a small connection, but now our connection are expanding globally because we get to meet people along our journey. We meet more people, and then we make new friendships all over the world. So, and then when we get to go to conventions, for example, there's one in Chula Vista.
Yes. Are you
We
going? Sorry.
No, not this time.
Oh,
Went to the Japan last year.
okay.
But no, but if I can see you next year because I think it's happening here in Vancouver, so I must see you.
Really? That's nice.
Yes. So so when we go to those conventions, you get to see, for example, like if it's gonna be here in Vancouver, or for the next convention, if we get to meet together, we can meet personally, and besides only meeting online. And when you go to those connections, besides meeting the people that you already know online, you also get to meet other new peoples on those places, and you create new friendships. So that is the beauty of this global online community, that you're building, connections. You also mentioned about the legacy. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
this is another good one. Um, and when we're talking about legacy, there's two legacies that you actually leave into your family and to your kids. The first one you mentioned is the financial part of it, which you can pass your business to your family, to your kids, and they can continue with the business. And that way, they are already established, financially, because you built the business, so by the time that they get it, it's gonna be they can continue from there. But also, the other legacy that you're leaving is that your kids are watching you. Like, for example, you're a nurse and now you are into being a digital marketer, digital online, an entrepreneur. And they get to see how my mom, is doing something totally different, how she's getting out of her comfort zone, how she's overcoming setbacks, overcoming
Mm-hmm.
challenges, So they are watching you, and because they are watching you, they're learning, and they're learning that when you set your mind to it, if you want to achieve your dreams, you can do anything that you set your mind to. So you just have to take action, and they are learning all those from you, from watching you. So that's the other legacy that you're leaving to your kids.
I
You are an
really love that
inspiration.
the way you said about living legacy and you know they're yeah kids are really watching us and
Mhm.
making when they see us that we transform our lives and then we put action and they will really uh, see that that this that you can change anytime, that you can transform yourself anytime. So that's a good one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, because that's the other legacy that, okay, I think, okay. That's the other legacy that we can leave to your kids, to the
Mhm.
family, because they're watching it. So you're the inspiration for them, you're the leader of your family because they're watching you. So
Mhm.
that's how you change. So yeah. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Now that you're not only a business owner, but also a mentor, what do you say to women, especially nurses or working moms, who are burned out and don't believe there's another way forward.
Okay. To every woman listening, especially my fellow nurses, caregivers, and hardworking moms, I see you. I was you. I was feeling stuck, overwhelmed, exhausted, and yeah, I thought that is this all there is. So I want to tell you something, that there is another way. You don't have to choose between being, a great mom, a present wife, or a successful woman. You can be all three. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait until you're broken or burn out to start building to a life that you deserve, because you already have what it takes. We're resilient. You are resilient. You're capable. So you just need the right vehicle. We have the the digital business that we have. We have a mentorship, and also, and we have a community that that believes in you before you even believe yourself. So for those who resonates with the story that I've shared, or what we have, I'm inviting you all to take that first brave step. So uh, as I've said, don't wait for the perfect time. It doesn't exist. So yeah, you just only need a willing heart, and a decision to stop surviving, so you can start living fully. So let's connect. So we will show you the same system as Sandy had shown you earlier, that you just need to watch the webinar, and by that you just need to register on our you just need to register your name and email on our website. So that's the first step.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes. And I do agree. Yeah. Because, moms and nurses, they already know how to juggle many things at the same time. So
Mhm.
you already have those skills. You only need to take that leap of faith, and the other stuff like um, Ross mentioned, all the training is provided, and all the tools and support, you have it. So it takes is you to take that leap of faith, and believe in yourself, take that chance for you, to be able to change your life and your family's life, because like Ross mentioned, there is a better option for you than the 9 to 5. You can start this on the side, and then eventually, this will replace your actual income, and you can be fully present and taking care of your health. Because we are when we're young, it's good, but as we get older, our bodies start feeling it. So you don't want to wait until that moment, like Ross mentioned. You want to start this earlier, and that way, you can take some time and really enjoy it. And something that Ross mentioned at the beginning of the life, if you have been following us, is you gotta be present for your loved ones. You gotta live the moment. Stop living, stop thinking about the future. Yes, we have to think about the future, but we don't know about the future. If there's gonna be a future in the past, we have to
Mhm.
really live in the present. Because if we don't live in the present and we keep thinking about living in the future, we're gonna miss the present time. We're gonna miss those
Correct.
special moments with our loved ones. So you really but I would add to what Ross said, really sit down and reflect on your life, and weigh, what is more important for you, your health, your family, or your job. um, so just see what is more important, And then take action, because like we mentioned, you can start this on the side. And then, like, Russ, she was able to reduce her hours, and now she's more fully present for her family, and she continued working and building her business. And eventually, I guess you want to be able to retire early too,
Yes,
right?
that's the goal, our goal, right?
Yes, same here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
retire early.
Yeah. So there you go. We hope so that you got inspired with Russ' story, because her story relates to many of us, moms, working career women, nurses, really, because we tend to focus on building money, but we forget about the most important things in our lives, and that is two things that are very important in our lives: is the health and the family, your loved ones. Those
Yes.
are things that are not negotiable. It shouldn't be negotiable, because those are important. You can have all the money that you have, but if you don't have a good health, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have your loved ones besides you that you can share moments with, it's not worth it. So you gotta start learning to have the money works for you, and not you working for the money, because it's not about, with the money you can have those memories, create those memories, those moments with your loved ones. Your family are gonna remember those memories, not the things that you're buying to your family. It's just those memories that you're creating with them, because those are things that no one can buy, no one can take them away from them, because those are staying here,
Mhm.
and here in the heart. Um so yeah, so we hope so that you got inspired with Russell stories, or Russ story, and you really connect, and reflect about your life, and take action. You can, if you want to have more information, if you have questions, you can put in the comments, more info, or you can send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions, if you have any doubts, or um, you need to know more information because you're a little bit skeptical, which is normal. There's a lot of scam out there, so you want to make sure that you do your due diligence. So we do have a live webinar, which is free, available to you, so you can do your due diligence. And we also invite you to our private Facebook group, where you can browse the group and you can see more success stories from members of our community, more information about the business. So if you want to catch the replay of last Thursday's live webinar, and also register for tomorrow's live webinar, you can register in any of our websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So on the webinar, you're gonna learn how our online business plan works, and also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists who are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So you have that opportunity to really learn about the business, and then if you want to know more in detail, like more about the business, then you proceed to the next step, which is paying the $149 US. And then at that moment, you have those 30 days to do your due diligence and really learn more, and then find out if this online business opportunity is for you or if it's not. So it's a 30 days refundable, as long as you don't proceed to the coaching call. So, but it gives you that opportunity to really do your due diligence and decide, if this is for you. So there's no really a commitment, it's more, you gain more to find out than to stay in where you are. Because if you stay in where you are, nothing is going to change. Everything around you is going to evolve, but you're going to still remain in on the same place. So why not, find out if this is for you or not. You got nothing to lose, more to gain. So if it's not for you, that's not a problem. You got your money back. And if it is, then you proceed to the next step. But we can tell you all the benefits that we get, but at the end of the day, it's your decision. We took our decision, we took our leap of faith. Like Ross mentioned, she was a little bit scared, a little bit skeptical at the beginning, but she really needed to to do something for her and her family, be more fully present, and taking care of her health. So she took action and she took that leap of faith. And same here, I also, I wanted to be able to take care more of my health, be more present for my aging parents and my family. Um, so the only way that we can do this is, taking risk, taking that leap of faith. And we do have a blueprint here that it's already available to us. So we just have to follow the blueprint, and you're gonna be able to build your business. We have so many successful people in our community. Um, just to say, like when I started this business in 2023, we used to have a Wednesday mastermind. It's a workshop that is available to the whole community where we learn together, and then we showcase the story of a member of our community who he reached like their milestone. And today, it's called Millionaire Mastermind. And
Mhm.
that is because we have more than one millionaires in our community. So that's why it's called Millionaire Mastermind today. So that's just to give you, the scalability of this business is huge. Um, this is not a rich quick scheme. I just wanna say that, it takes time, it takes hard work at the beginning, but it's like a compound, start small, but it keeps growing and growing. And that's why you are able to, a lot of people are able to quit their jobs, they started this on the side and then eventually they quit their job and now they're just focused on the business. And in terms of, allocating time for their business is between 2 to 4 hours per day, and you can even take one day off and then you recap the next day on, you know, take off for the hours that you didn't do and catch up on the next day. So, and because of the automated system, that's the other beauty of this business, if you can do scheduling, for example, your post ahead of time. So you don't have to be there 24/7 on your business or every day. And that's the beauty, that it gives you the chance to go on vacations with your family and your business is working behind the scenes and you can really enjoy those times and taking care of your business. So want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the lives with us today, and those catching the replay. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. If you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel, you can subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell to get notified when we post new content and when we go in live. And if you are following us on Facebook, or you're not following us on Facebook, actually, you can follow us up here. And where do they can follow you, Ross?
They can follow me on my page, Russ Torres Digital Marketing. So that's my business page. Thank you so much for having me, Sandy. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. My pleasure is mine, to have you here as a guest and you sharing your journey with me and the audience, So thank you so much, and your audience. We do have more like emojis here from Barack Omi, Es- Espurian Gabonsis, and also a heart emoji from Melissa Mutoni Jeru. So thank you so much for all your
Thank
likes
you
and
for
all
hopping by.
your. So saying that, we want to say thank you. Oh, sorry. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Monday for those who are on Monday, and a happy and blessed Tuesday for those who are on Tuesday already, and a happy and blessed week ahead for everyone. And we want to say thank you again to our guest, Ross, for spending her time today with us and sharing, her story, her journey, which is very inspiring. I hope a lot of people will connect with her story because all of us, we are in the same situation, the same cycle. And like you get to see, from a different perspective of someone else's story, you can see yourself, and then maybe you can be more open to see, there's change, there's options out there to be able to have a better quality life for you and your family. So thank you for sharing that your journey and your story, Ross.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And until the next episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success for another topic and another guest. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. Thank you for
God
watching.
bless.